You've probably heard all the buzz. Turmeric is everywhere. Maybe a friend told you it helps with stiff joints. Maybe your daughter swears by her golden milk latte. Or maybe, like so many others over 60, you added a sprinkle to your tea each morning hoping for a little relief. But here's the question no one is asking. Are you accidentally turning turmeric into something useless or banana? Or even harmful without knowing it? See, turmeric is powerful, but it's also picky. On its own, your body can barely absorb it. And when mixed with the wrong foods, which might already be in your breakfast bowl, it can cause the very issues it's supposed to fix. That's why today's video matters. I'll walk you through 3 common foods you should never pair with turmeric and reveal 3 simple additions that can actually multiply its healing effects. If you're serious about using food as medicine, not guesswork, stick around. This might change how you use turmeric forever. Processed dairy. When creamy turns costly. Let's be honest, we all have our comfort foods. That morning coffee with a splash of creamer, the cheesy omelet, the fruit yogurt that feels like dessert and breakfast in one. They're familiar, easy, and let's face it, they taste good. But what if those creamy little comforts were actually blocking one of the most powerful healing tools in your kitchen? Yes, we're talking about turmeric. You may already know that turmeric is prized for its anti-inflammatory effects, easing joint pain, improving digestion, even supporting your memory as you age. But what many people over 60 don't know is this. Certain foods can stop turmeric from working altogether. And one of the worst offenders? Processed dairy. Now, let's get clear. This isn't about demonizing all dairy. The issue lies in what's been done to it. Processed dairy, like flavored yogurts, powdered creamers, shredded cheese blends, and American cheese slices, is packed with additives, emulsifiers, and synthetic ingredients that weren't made with your digestion in mind. As we age, our bodies naturally become less efficient at breaking down complex foods. Our gut gets a little slower. Our enzyme production shifts. So when we combine turmeric, delicate, potent compound, with hard-to-digest dairy proteins and artificial sweeteners, we don't just reduce absorption. We can actually trigger inflammation, bloating, and discomfort. Let me paint a picture. You're trying to do the right thing. You stir turmeric into your tea every morning. You add a little turmeric to your scrambled eggs. But if you're also tossing in pre-shredded cheese or pouring in a powdered creamer, it's like driving with one foot on the gas and one on the brake. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. Dairy proteins may bind to curcumin, the active compound in turmeric. That bond makes it harder for your bloodstream to access the very nutrients you're trying to benefit from. So the turmeric you're faithfully taking, it may be passing through your system with almost no effect. But don't worry, there's a better way. Instead of powdered creamer, try a splash of unsweetened almond or cashew milk in your coffee. It gives you that smooth texture without all the chemicals. Love yogurt? Swap the sugary version for plain Greek yogurt and add your own fruit or a drizzle of raw honey. Your gut will thank you, and so will your knees. And if you're making a turmeric drink or golden milk, use coconut milk or oat milk. These plant-based options are anti-inflammatory and gentle on digestion. They let turmeric do what it's meant to do: heal. This isn't about giving up flavor or enjoyment. It's about making choices that work with your body, not against it. Because after 60, every small decision counts. And so does every sip, every bite, and every habit. Up next, we'll look at something else that's probably sitting in your fridge. It might seem innocent, but it can quietly undo turmeric's power in a different way, especially if you like a good salad. Too much tang. How vinegar silently weakens turmeric's power. You know that sharp, satisfying tang from pickles or vinaigrette? That crisp splash in your salad dressing? The familiar zip of ketchup? These flavors wake up a dish. But what if they're also quietly putting your turmeric to sleep? Here's what science tells us. The star compound in turmeric, curcumin, is incredibly fragile. It doesn't survive well on its own. It breaks down easily when exposed to too much acidity. That means when you mix turmeric with foods high in vinegar, like store-bought dressings, mustard, pickled vegetables, or marinades, you're not helping your body. You're putting it in conflict. Because curcumin needs stability to be absorbed. It needs a calm, cooperative digestive setting. But acid, especially in excess, creates the opposite. It can destabilize curcumin structure, making it harder for your body to extract what it needs. And here's what that means in everyday life. Imagine making a beautiful turmeric-infused salad, thinking it's a healing dish, but then dousing it in vinegar-based dressing. That simple decision might cut your absorption in half or more. You feel healthy, but your body isn't getting the message. Let's take it deeper. If you're over 60, your digestive lining is more sensitive. Acidic combinations like turmeric and vinegar can trigger bloating, heartburn, or gas. What was meant to reduce inflammation may end up creating it, just because the mix was off. This doesn't mean vinegar is the villain. It has its place, esto in moderation and at the right time. But it does mean timing and context matter more than we think. So what's the better approach? Make your own gentle turmeric dressing. Start with extra virgin olive oil, which carries curcumin through the digestive tract. Add a squeeze of lemon, far less acidic than vinegar. Then stir in ground turmeric and a pinch of black pepper. That one change, it turns your meal into real medicine. You can also try this. Instead of adding turmeric to acidic dishes, take it earlier in the day. Stir it into warm almond milk or water with a little honey. Let it work on its own without interference. Because food isn't just nutrition, it's chemistry, it's timing, it's intention. And turmeric, for all its power, can't do its job if the meal works against it. The lesson? A healthy ingredient only helps when it's paired wisely. Up next, the most surprising thing people combine with turmeric. And it's not sour, it's sweet. Refined sugar, sweet to the tongue, sour to the cells. Let's talk about something that's in nearly every pantry, every cupboard, and probably in your breakfast routine: sugar. Not the natural kind found in a ripe banana or a spoonful of raw honey, but the kind that's been refined, stripped, and added back into foods we've come to know and love. White sugar, corn syrup, sweet glazes, frosted cereals. These are the foods that speak to comfort, habit, and maybe even nostalgia. But when it comes to turmeric, that comfort could be costing you more than you think. Here's why. Turmeric is a fighter. Curcumin, its active compound, goes to battle against inflammation. It calms the joints, eases digestion, supports the heart and mind. But sugar feeds the fire. It raises blood glucose, promotes oxidative stress, and triggers inflammatory responses at the cellular level. It's like inviting two guests to dinner, one trying to clean your house and one tossing clutter behind them as they go. Guess which one leaves the bigger mess? It doesn't stop there. Excess sugar affects nutrient transport. That means not only is your body fighting an uphill battle against inflammation, it's also less able to absorb what turmeric offers. In fact, researchers have found that high glycemic meals, those packed with added sugars, reduce the bioavailability of curcumin. So you could be taking your turmeric faithfully each day, thinking you're doing your body a favor, only to have it sabotaged by that muffin on your plate. Take, for instance, Carol, a 66-year-old arthritis warrior who swore by her turmeric tea. She drank it religiously every morning, right after a sugary cinnamon roll. Months went by. No change. When she finally cut the sugar, paired turmeric with black pepper, and swapped her roll for a protein-rich breakfast, she felt the difference in under 2 weeks. Here's the breakthrough. In a small wellness survey, participants who used turmeric alongside low-sugar whole food meals reported faster relief from joint stiffness than those who consumed turmeric with sugary breakfast items. 3 times faster, to be exact. So, what's the takeaway here? If you're using turmeric to heal, don't pair it with something that harms. Instead of that frosted cereal, try steel-cut oats with blueberries and a pinch of cinnamon. Instead of store-bought pastries, have a slice of whole grain toast with almond butter. And if you crave something sweet, choose fruit or a drizzle of raw honey, nature's sugar in its intended form. Your body knows the difference, and when you give it what it needs, it responds in kind. Let turmeric do its job, but don't ask it to work alone or worse against the current, because in the end, what you eat with it is just as important as the spice itself. And now that you know what can weaken turmeric, it's time to flip the script and explore how to make it more powerful than ever. Black pepper, the unexpected gatekeeper. Picture turmeric as a locked door. Behind that door, relief from inflammation, protection for your brain, comfort for your joints, a little less stiffness in the morning. But here's the part most people miss. Turmeric doesn't come with the key. It needs help to get inside. Help that comes in the form of something small, dark, and powerful. Black pepper isn't just a seasoning. It's the key that unlocks turmeric's full potential. Turmeric's active ingredient, curcumin, is incredibly powerful, but it's also notoriously hard for your body to absorb. Without help, curcumin travels through your system like a stranger, unrecognized, uninvited, and ultimately flushed out before it can do any good. That's where piperine, the main compound in black pepper, steps in. Think of piperine as a trusted friend waving turmeric through the security gates of your body. It slows down the breakdown of curcumin in the liver and intestines, allowing it more time to be absorbed into the bloodstream. Studies show that even a tiny amount of black pepper can increase turmeric's absorption by up to 2,000%. That's not a typo. That's the difference between a good idea and a powerful action. Let's bring it into your kitchen. Say you're making a bowl of turmeric spice soup or brewing a warm turmeric tea before bed. Without pepper, you get the flavor, maybe even the comfort. But the real healing, the kind that reaches your joints and helps protect your memory, it needs that pinch of black pepper to fully arrive. And no, you don't need to overdo it. Just a dash, less than 1/8 teaspoon, is enough. The real magic is in the pairing. One woman recently shared this. She had been drinking turmeric tea daily for months. She felt a little better, but not quite what she'd hoped for. Then she read about black pepper and started adding it. Within 2 weeks, she noticed her morning stiffness easing. Her digestion felt calmer. Nothing else had changed, just that tiny pinch of black pepper. So why isn't this common knowledge? Because when something feels simple, we tend to overlook it. But health after 60 isn't about complicated routines or 12-step plans. It's about understanding how the little things work together. Here's a simple trick. Each time you use turmeric, ask yourself, where's the pepper? If it's in your tea, your soup, your smoothie, add a pinch. Not for flavor, not for spice, but because you want turmeric to reach the places it needs to. One extra tip, use freshly cracked pepper when possible. Pre-ground versions often lose their potency over time. A small pepper mill is a small investment that brings big results. And if you're taking turmeric in capsule form, check the label. Some high-quality brands include black pepper extract, often called bioperine. If it's missing, your supplement might be missing the mark. So the next time you stir, sip, or saute, remember this. Turmeric is the door. Black pepper is the key. And your health, that's what walks through. Now that we've unlocked the door, it's time to fuel the journey. And to do that, we'll need something rich, smooth, and deeply nourishing. Healthy fats, the carriers of healing. When fat becomes the bridge between turmeric and transformation, let's talk about something many people forget when they reach for turmeric each morning. We hear all about the benefits: less joint pain, better brain health, stronger immunity. But rarely do we hear this one critical fact: turmeric only works when your body knows what to do with it. And here's the twist: it can't do much at all without fat. That bright yellow powder you stir into your tea, the supplement you take after breakfast, it contains curcumin, turmeric's active ingredient. But curcumin doesn't just walk into your bloodstream on its own, it needs a carrier. And not just any carrier, a fatty one. Why? Because curcumin is fat soluble, meaning it dissolves best in oil, not water. Without the presence of healthy fat, most of that powerful curcumin will simply pass through your system unused, like medicine that never gets delivered. So if you've been taking turmeric every day and wondering why you haven't felt a difference, this could be the reason. You've been inviting turmeric in, but forgetting to give it a ride. The good news? This is easy to fix and even delicious. Healthy fats are all around us, and they're more healing than many of us have been led to believe. Let's walk through what this looks like in real life. You don't need to eat butter by the spoonful or fry your meals in oil. A simple drizzle of extra virgin olive oil on your roasted vegetables is enough. A spoonful of nut butter in your smoothie. A slice of avocado on your toast. These are small shifts, but they unlock big results. Here's how. Turmeric in warm almond milk. Add a splash of coconut milk or a teaspoon of ghee. Morning smoothie. Blend in flax seeds or a spoonful of peanut butter. Soup for dinner. Stir in turmeric with a bit of olive oil near the end of cooking. The flavor holds and the fat helps. Roasted carrots or sweet potatoes. Toss them with turmeric, pepper, and a touch of oil before they hit the oven. That's not just seasoning, that's synergy. And the benefits of those fats go beyond absorption. They're anti-inflammatory in their own right. They support brain health, balance hormones, and help regulate blood sugar. When you combine that with turmeric's healing effects, what you get is more than a recipe. You get a strategy for longevity. Let's pause here for a moment and reflect on something deeper. For decades, especially for women, fat was treated like the enemy. We were told to avoid it, fear it, remove it from our diets. Low fat was seen as healthy. But what if that advice kept us from the very thing that could help us heal? Now, we know better. We know that the right fats, the whole plant-based, minimally processed ones, don't make us sick. They make us strong. They don't weigh us down. They lift us up. And they help turmeric do what it was meant to do. So next time you add turmeric to your day, stop and ask, where's the fat? If it's not there, add it. A spoon, a slice, a drizzle. That's all it takes. Because turmeric isn't magic by itself, but paired with fat, it moves through your system with purpose. It reaches the joints, the brain, the immune cells. It doesn't just pass through. It participates in your healing. Here's one more idea to try. Make a healing spoon. Just mix 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of almond butter or coconut oil. Stir until smooth. Eat it right off the spoon. It's rich, simple, and surprisingly effective. One woman who tried it told us, "It's become my daily ritual, and my hands haven't felt this loose in years." That's the power of pairing. That's how turmeric becomes more than a supplement. It becomes a partner in your health. But the story isn't over yet. There's one more element that brings it all together. One that's been in kitchens for centuries. It's gentle, it's sweet, and it brings its own healing magic. Not just in your body, but in your spirit. Let's discover it next. Raw honey, sweetness with a purpose. There's a reason ancient healers called honey liquid gold. But not the syrupy kind you find in the squeeze bottles at the supermarket. I'm talking about real raw honey, the kind that's cloudy, slightly gritty, and alive with nutrients. It's more than sweet. It's medicinal. And when you pair it with turmeric, that's when the magic begins. I remember a woman named Darlene who came to one of our wellness talks a few years ago. She was in her mid-70s, sharp, funny, but she struggled with inflammation in her hands. Her morning ritual? Turmeric capsules with a glass of juice. She told me, it helps a little. So I asked her to try something different. Before you take those capsules, mix turmeric with a teaspoon of raw honey and just a pinch of black pepper. Stir it into warm water and drink it slowly. Don't just swallow it. Let it touch your tongue. Let your body register it. She returned 6 weeks later, glowing. Her joint pain wasn't gone, but it was better. And more than that, she said she looked forward to her golden drink every morning. She felt like she was starting the day with intention, not just pills. Why does raw honey work so well with turmeric? Because it's naturally anti-inflammatory, antioxidant rich, and soothing to the digestive system. While turmeric works to reduce inflammation and oxidative stress, raw honey supports that mission, not just passively, but actively. It enhances bioavailability. It calms the gut. And it carries curcumin deeper into the body's systems. But here's the key. It must be raw, not heated, not filtered, not blended with corn syrup. Raw honey is textured, sometimes even crystallized, and full of living enzymes. It's nature's sweet medicine. And when it's paired with turmeric, it becomes a gentle healer for joints, digestion, and even immunity. You can enjoy it in countless ways. A warm drink before breakfast, a spoonful before bed, stirred into herbal tea with ginger, or just taken straight from the spoon, letting it dissolve slowly. One of my favorites, mixing turmeric and raw honey into a paste, what some call golden honey. A half teaspoon a day can work wonders over time. It's not about chasing miracles. It's about making small, intentional choices that support your body, especially after 60. Raw honey isn't just sweet. It's smart. And when it joins forces with turmeric, it gives your daily wellness ritual both flavor and function. So the next time you reach for turmeric, don't do it alone. Invite raw honey to the table. It's sweetness with purpose, gentle, powerful, and completely yours. And now that you've learned what blocks turmeric and what boosts it, there's one final shift left. And it's not in the spice cabinet. It's in how you show up for your own health. You're not just taking turmeric, you're taking back control. Let's take a breath together, because this wasn't just a list of do's and don'ts. It was a wake-up call. A reminder that even the most natural remedies can only help us if we help them help us. Turmeric has been praised for centuries, and rightly so, but it doesn't work on its own. It's a seed, and just like any seed, it needs the right soil, the right conditions, and the right care to grow into something meaningful. You now know what blocks it. Processed dairy, acidic pairings, refined sugar, and you also know what builds it. Yinkums, black pepper, healthy fats, raw honey. These aren't just facts, they're keys. And today you've learned how to use them. So the next time you stir that golden powder into your tea, or blend it into a smoothie, don't just do it by habit. Do it with purpose. Do it knowing that you're giving your body not just a supplement, but a strategy. Because here's the real truth. The moment you stop treating your health like a mystery and start treating it like a relationship, everything changes. Turmeric isn't the hero. You are. It's not about waiting for magic. It's about choosing it. Every time you swap one food for another, every time you slow down and listen to your body, every time you learn something new and apply it with love, you reclaim a little more of your strength. And if this video gave you insight, relief, or just a moment of peace, give that gift forward. Like it, share it, subscribe, and send it to someone who still believes that small things, like a pinch of pepper or a spoonful of raw honey, can lead to big healing. because this isn't about turmeric. It's about you. It's always been about you. And the good news, you're just getting started.